everyone, welcome back to another video. So pretty much what I'm doing today is this is where the adventure begins right here. I've been walking for about 10 minutes already up this creek system, and this is where I'm going to be staying for the next 24 hours or so. I'm going to be living off the land. I've got no food, no water. I've got a hammock to sleep in, and we're going to be heading 3 hours up this creek system, seeing what animals we can find, what food we can catch, starting a fire, sleeping up there overnight. And once we get fully up into the rainforest, there's some awesome species that are extremely rare that I want to show you as well. These guys are everywhere up there and not many people know about them. But honestly, I'm so keen to try catch my own food, get my own water, and basically just live up here. I'm literally walking into the wild right now. Now I got a couple things inside this backpack right here that I'm going to show you once we get up to that location that we're going to set up camp. So if you watched my last video where I went way up this creek system, you would know that the only way to get way up there is swimming through the water in multiple locations. And I can't afford to do that because these are the clothes I have to sleep in tonight. So we got to find another way up around all these cliffs and everything, but it should be a pretty good adventure. So I say what we do now, keep walking into the wild and see what animals we can find. Let's go, I'm so excited. Sweating bullets right now. Take a look at this little fella just sitting down on the log here. Now that is a green tree snake. And what was happening was I was walking up the creek just this way and I saw him slithering just down this log right here. And he actually jumped in the water and went under this rock. I'm gonna lift it up, make sure he's not trapped. And I could see the rock was pushing down on him. He went under it that far, so he would have drowned. I quickly grabbed him, chucked him back up on this log here, and take a look at this species of snake right there. Oh. Striking at the GoPro. Now we're not going to disturb this little fella anymore. I'm just going to chill with him for a bit, see what he does. But this species of snake is a non-venomous species of snake. Now, if I was coming this far up the creek and this snake was venomous, of course I wouldn't be sitting this close to it. But these guys, they're harmless. Now, normally these snakes are a bit of an olive color, a bit green under their belly, but you can see this blue coloration, and that's actually what's under their scales. And when they get a bit agitated and stressed, they'll actually move their scales to show this blue color. Oh, he just went the GoPro. And what this guy would have been doing, they're also cold-blooded. So he needs to actually warm up for the day. So he's found a little sunny spot where he feels safe under this big tree canopy. No birds or anything can get him. And he's just sitting there warming up for the day. And then later on, he'll go hunting for some frogs, little skinks, maybe even some bird eggs. Oh, that was close. All right, he's just swam across that way right there. Literally just glided across the surface. We only just started walking up this creek. We've already found that little fella. We still got ages to go before we get to that spot. So let's keep heading up there and see what else we can find. That is so cool, little green tree snake. All right, this is where it gets interesting right here because the only way that I normally get through is right through the middle. You can't get around that way. And the other side over here is a big cliff, so I'm gonna have to take my chances on this side. Hope I don't fall in with all my gear in there because that wouldn't be too fun. Oh. Lucky that vine was strong then. I had my camera in my mouth, fully slipped off. We made it past the first one, but that's the easiest one. From here on, there's two more that are really hard to get past. This place right here was where I was catching all those eels the other day in my last video. Look, big spangled perch in that pool right there. It'd be good to get one of them to eat. Now I could stay here and try get one on a little hand line that I bought up, but I think I'm gonna get up the creek, set myself up, and then go look for some food so I don't have to cart it all even further up the creek. Just need to make our way in through here. Well, we made it. There's just one more place just there. That's gonna be really hard to get past. and then we're in the clear. We're mostly dry, which is pretty good. Woo! Made it this far. That's so good. Let's keep going. Yes, we made it. No more falling in the water here. Alright, so we've been walking for about 2.5 hours now, and we've nearly made it up there. It's probably another 5-minute walk up the creek. And once we get up there, I'm gonna start setting up camp. And after I'm done that, I'm just gonna have fun, go exploring, see if I can catch some food, and maybe collect some water as well. Take a look at that. Woo! That is so good. It's good to be back here. And I'm so excited to sleep up here tonight. Take a look at that up there. We made it finally. We're definitely going to climb up that later, get to the top and keep exploring the creek up that way. Before we do that, I'm going to set up everything first. So I'll show you what I got inside my backpack. So what this is, it's a hammock. I'm going to be setting this up in between 2 trees, sleeping in it tonight. Should be pretty good. A little bit of rope to tie the hammock up. This is what I'm going to use to hopefully cut up the fish that I catch. And if I need to cut anything down, I'll use this big fella. I got a little bit of fishing line, so hopefully it'll get the job done and we can cook up a fish for dinner later on. Now, what I got next is something that I'm really excited about. I didn't have to bring it up the creek. I wanted to bring minimal resources, but I thought this would be pretty cool to set up near my camp and see what's walking by later on. This is a game camera trap, so if something was to walk past it, it'll actually take a photo in a 10-second video. So yeah, that should be pretty cool. Picked that one up last week. Got a torch for later on. I'm gonna be setting up a fire, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to go for a night walk later, see if we can find any snakes or catch anything in the creek, and that's it. Other than that, I got my camera gear and we're gonna be set. I reckon just between here will be pretty good. Hear the waterfall all night. Let's go! Not a bad place to pitch a hammock. I'm actually gonna have the best sleep tonight. Take a look at this. Oh, I'm actually so pumped. All right, so we got camp set up right here. Now what I'm gonna do is have a bit of fun. So I wanna try catch some fish that I can cook up later on. So what I'm gonna do now is climb way up to the top of that waterfall and see if I can catch some bait just sitting in the pools up there, bring it back down and go fishing under the waterfall. That's the plan anyways. Let's start climbing up the top there. So this is halfway up the waterfall. This one right here. And take a look at this. Right here, baby. Woo! Might try catch a fish in here later. Definitely gonna be going for a swim in there. But we need to climb up and get up there. This part's pretty sketchy. Don't want to fall down there. Oh, and you get a really nice look at the waterfall over there. Woo! We made it! How good is this? We're camping all the way down there. This is sick. Just sitting up the top here, How good. All right, now let's go catch some bait. I'm really keen to go fishing and try and catch something to eat. Now, we are deep in the Australian rainforest at the moment, literally in the middle of nowhere, hiked 3 hours up to get here. And being in awesome creek systems like this, you get to see awesome species that are barely ever seen by people, because they're in such remote locations. And luckily enough, in this creek system right here, years back, I found a healthy population of a really rare species of crayfish called the giant spiny freshwater crayfish, living in these creeks way up in the jungle. This is a species that is incredibly hard to find, and these guys are literally everywhere up here. So over the next couple hours, I'm gonna try find a couple, get them up close to the camera. You're not allowed to catch them, you're not allowed to eat them or anything, but they are just the coolest species. And because they live on the banks, often you'll see them coming out of their holes and going into the water. So I climbed all the way up to the top to look for bait and to look for some of these crayfish. I come back down and guess what I see coming out of its hole? That right there is one of these extremely rare crayfish. The spiny freshwater crayfish. They're the coolest species. Last time I came up this creek, I was walking up here, put my foot in the wrong place, and one of these guys latched onto one of my toes. I literally caught him starting to walk over to this creek system right here. So we might come over in a minute and we might be able to get to see him in his natural habitat. But that's his home up in that little thing there, and he's just sticking out watching me. So I just caught a shrimp underneath a rock. So what I'm gonna do now is grab the fishing line, get it out there, try a couple different spots, and see if we can catch something that we can cook up. Let's get a line in there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Woo! Let's go! I got a caddy. Take a look at that. Under the waterfall. Let's go, catfish. This one would probably be about 35 centimeters, which is the legal limit. How good is that? Now this right here is gonna be my dinner. Take a look at that. For no food, no water up the creek. I'm gonna have a drink out of this waterfall in a second, but we got dinner right there. I'm so keen to set up a fire and cook this little fella up. That's so good. Woo! Eeltail caddies, just like the old days. All right, let's take him back to camp. Take a look at that, we got one. That is so good. We got dinner for tonight. Thank you, buddy. You're not gonna be wasted. This is probably the perfect size for me to eat as well. Now she's going good. Just chuck a couple sticks on here and there. Don't want to smother it too much. Take some fillets off this caddy. Just down there like that. There's one fillet. Got most of the meat. Second one. Again, got nearly all the meat. Then what we'll do with this is we'll chuck it in front of the camera trap later on. There we go. Might cook up that fillet in about half an hour or so. This is living. I mean, honestly, what more could you want? Cooking up a fish that I caught in front of this massive waterfall that I'm gonna sleep at tonight. It's been a pretty cool day so far. Definitely gonna be going on more missions like this. So subscribe to the channel if you wanna see more of this stuff, and let me know what you wanna see in the comments section below. We'll wait for this fire to go out, cook it a bit more, because I'd hate to get sick all the way up this creek. And then once it's cooked, maybe go up on the waterfall and eat it. I think that's about done. It actually does look pretty good. It's really nice white meat. But yeah, we'll give it a taste test. Not as bad as I thought. It'd obviously be better if we had like a lemon or some seasoning or something. But for an eeltail catfish, that does taste pretty good. And it'll give me a lot of energy for when I go on the night walk tonight and everything. Better than my last 48-hour challenge where I didn't eat anything. I'd love to catch something like a coral trout or something like that out of this creek, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So we've literally got to choose out of an eel or an eeltail catfish. You know it's not great when a catfish is the best tasting fish in this creek. Just spotted this massive goanna sitting just in here, but see how he's standing his ground? This right here is his territory. He's like, you come any closer and I'm gonna bite you. And trust me, out here you do not want to get bitten by one of these guys. They basically have venom because the bacteria inside their mouth is so bad. All right, let's go for an explore up the creek. This is my drinking water right here for the next 2 days or so. Now I've drunk water out of this creek probably 50 or so times, and I only got crippling sickness for about 48 of those, so I should be cash. The only thing you have to worry about is if there's dead animals further up the creek, because then that gets washed down into the water. But these waterfalls do a great job of filtering all that stuff out. So the sun's just starting to go down at the moment. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got this game camera. I'm gonna walk that way down the creek, set it up, put the catfish in front of it, and come check it tomorrow and see if anything has actually walked past it. And this is what will happen if something walks past it. It'll take a video. Hopefully these cows don't mess with it.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Now let's go back to camp. We'll check this line, see if it's got anything on it. Yep. Oh, we're on. We're on here. Massive eel. We're onto a huge eel here. Oh, I didn't think we had anything on the line. Take a look at that. That is actually huge. Preferably don't want to get eel slime all over myself, but we'll do what needs to be done. Oh, this has been a really good day today. Just topped it off at the end. The sun's nearly down at the moment, and take a look at what we got down here. A massive eel in the coolest place. Take a look at that, right at the base of this little waterfall here. Nearly there, mate. Keep going, one more. All right, off he goes. Take a look at that. Woo! Catfish and a big eel, that's so good. Sun's just about to go down at the moment. Let's wait for it to go down a bit more, get that fire going, and then go for a big night walk up the creek. So I want to fire later on tonight, so I'm just gonna collect all the resources for that while it's still light. There we go. Well, we got it going. Looks so good next to the waterfall and my hammock. If you guys want to see more camp out videos, let me know. Maybe next time I'll just come up here with the knife or go somewhere else. It'd be cool to do it on an island. I reckon that's my next goal. I'm gonna try keep this fire going for a couple hours. Oh, that's really hot. Until later on tonight, so that I just have a bit of light at the camp. Couldn't ask for much more than this, eh? It's not bad. I'm keen to sleep up here tonight. Maybe see what animals we can find later on. I'm pretty tired after a big day, so I might head to bed early. But I'm really keen to go for a night walk. I swear it's been light for like that long. I woke up really early this morning. Get this bad boy ready. Oh, that's gonna be so good later on. I know what you're thinking. Why am I wearing shoes? I think it's funny how I come all the way up the creek and all day not wearing shoes and then just put them on so my feet don't get cold when I go to bed. She is roaring now. I'll chuck the last of the wood on, get her going good for a little bit, and then after it dies off, I'll probably head off up the creek. All right, I'm going on a mission. Oh, look at that, straight away. Look at that little eel right there, right next to my camp. That's awesome. Whew. Look at that. I literally just spotted an eel crawling across the land. Where are you going? Back down here. Right there. Oh, that is so cool. I used to go on creek walks at night like this nearly every night, just seeing what I could find, all the snakes and everything. Let's keep walking back towards camp and see if we can find anything else. All right, and we're back. There he is. And what a day that was. The fire's just dying off at the moment. Once this fire does die off, I'm just gonna chill out here for a bit, head up into the hammock and go to sleep. If I do end up finding anything else or anything cool happens, I'll let you know. But if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. So it is 4:54 at the moment. I just woke up, not a bad view to wake up to be honest, just looking at that waterfall right there. The whole forest just comes alive at night. But I think what I'm gonna do now is take this hammock down, pack everything up, start heading back up the creek, see what animals I can find on the way back down, and yeah, start walking back home from here. Can't get much better than this spot. Camera trap I set is just down here. There's a couple cows in front of it, so I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of that. Catfish is still there. Well, let's hope we've got something. So I'm just looking back at the footage now on the camera, a heap of cows. They just kept walking past. But we also got footage of someone's dog coming right past the camera and even coming up to it and sniffing the camera. It had a collar on it, so it has to be someone's dog. Alright everyone, I think that's it for another video. I just wanted to say thank you all for coming along for the adventure. I'm definitely going to be doing more survival videos soon, so subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of them. Thank you so much, I really appreciate all the support on my videos and everything. Go chuck us a follow on Instagram if you really want to. I'm absolutely stuffed. I'm going to head back home, probably go to sleep again. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next adventure.